The speech that I was given was one that was delivered at the first Women's Rights Convention in Seneca Falls, New York. In July of 1848, an article was published in the Finger Lakes region. It read, "A convention to discuss the social and civil religious condition and rights of women will be held in the Wesleyan Chapel at Seneca Falls, New York, on Wednesday and Thursday, the 19th and 20th of July current, commencing at 10 o'clock a.m. During the first day, the meeting will be exclusively for women, who are earnestly invited to attend. The public are invited to be present on the second day, when Lucreta Mott of Philadelphia and other ladies and gentlemen will address the convention." This modest little article started the beginning of the women's right movement and is something that is now thought to be a landmark in the evolution of American democracy. I feel as though this speech, the Declaration of Sentiments and Resolutions, was used to light a fire in women and men, pointing out that the rights that are stated in the Declaration of Independence are actually being deprived from the women. The purpose of this speech is to demand equal and fair rights as women and men, black or white. And now the speech. Women, black and white, play a critical part in the building of the anti-slavery movement in the United States. They worked in anti-slavery societies all over the country, gathering thousands of petitions to Congress. But when, in 1840, a World Anti-Slavery Convention met in London, there was a fierce argument about whether women could attend. The final vote was that they could only attend meetings in curtained enclosure. They sat in silent protest in the gallery, and when they returned to the United States, they began to lay the basis for the first women's rights convention in history. It was held at Seneca Falls, New York, where Elizabeth Cady Stanton lived as a mother, a housewife, full of resentment at her condition, declaring, "A woman is nobody, a wife is everything." The convention was attended by 300 women and some men who adopted the Declaration of Principles, making use of the language and rhythm of the Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Sentiments and Resolutions. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of those who suffer from it to refuse allegiance to it, and to insist upon the institution of a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. When a long train of abuse and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of the women under this government, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to demand the equal station in which they are entitled. Man has endeavored in every way that he could to destroy her confidence in her own powers, to lessen her self-respect, and to make her willing to lead a dependent and abject life. Now, in view of this entire disenfranchisement of one half of the people in this country, their social and religious degradation in view of the unjust laws above mentioned, and because women do feel themselves aggravated, oppressed, and fraudulently deprived of their most sacred rights, we insist that they have immediate admission to all of the rights and privileges which belong to them as citizens of the United States. Thank you.